We are live. This is the market update. I am your host, Bill Noble. Haven't seen you in a while. XRP taking off, won't stop. Solana taking off, won't stop. Ethereum taking off, won't stop. Bitcoin taking off, won't stop. You get the point. This is not going to stop. You had about 2 or 3 days to get yourself organized because that's what hedge funds were doing for 2 or 3 days. People perhaps got fooled into thinking that the choppy price action was somehow negative. And now you're going to turn around and crypto is literally just going to launch itself into outer space. Reasons. One, we're in the middle of a universally agreed upon fun fiat revaluation. Okay. We're changing the value of fiat currencies against crypto, right? It's long awaited. It's way overdue and it's fun. So it's happening. The big rally could be in something like Ethereum. Really, because Ethereum is going to follow XRP. The long-term charts are unbelievable. And I believe XRP is doing there are tactical signals of a long-term breakout. Again, in other words, there's going to be another leg in XRP. If you go up to somebody who likes XRP and say XRP went up 400%, and now XRP is going to consolidate and go up another 200%, or go to $5 or $4, they might go, well, I'm bullish, but I don't know if anybody's looking for that to happen now. In other words, everyone's like, Bitcoin's going to 200K. Like, all right, what happens if Bitcoin goes to 200K now? I've seen this before at Wall Street, right? Everybody has a long-term target. Everybody goes like the Muppet Show and goes, oh, yeah, that's great. And then, boom, it's gone, right? This can happen, and this can sneak up on people right as we're starting to enter the very quiet period near that holiday season where traditional Wall Street and definitely in Europe, people just want to go on vacation. People are used to vacation and legacy. They're not used to the 24/7, never-ending crypto thing. Welcome to crypto. Crypto loves to sneak up on people during Western holidays. In this particular case, it's not going to be on the holiday itself. It's going to be on the whole 2 weeks leading up until the end of the year. They're going to do this right now. And I don't think people understand that. I really don't. I mean, I think the bull posting in Bitcoin is crazy, but I don't think the acknowledgement or the understanding of what can happen in terms of price. In other words, could Bitcoin start trading like an altcoin? We're used to this 105, 106. Watch your guru says. What happens if this gets out of control? I mean, let me say it a different way. It's going to get out of control. What are people going to act like when it does? Because, right now it's not easy, right? Market chops back and forth. Everyone's like, why is my altcoin not going up? And then it all goes up at once. We discussed this last night. We're going to expand further on this whole idea about longer term price predictions, right? First you had to go from a daily chart to a weekly chart, or a daily chart to a 2-day chart. Then you had to start using weekly charts. Then this quickly became monthly, and now it's quarterly to find upside targets. And then pretty soon it's going to be a free-for-all. I mean, I know that sounds like kind of bull-tard, but that's what's going to start happening. That's what's going to start happening. In other words, people are going to start being like, okay, where can this thing go? So if now in a normal traditional ebb and flow environment, everyone's talking 200K next year and 800K eventually, what happens if you're at 200K in 2 weeks? What does that put? Where does that put Michael Saylor in the national spotlight? You have to ask yourself these questions, because this is going to happen. And then the other funny thing is that XRP could move to the point where XRP would need a spokesman, which they currently do not have. I think I'm currently the XRP spokesman on YouTube. I mean, of course they can bring out, the Bit Boys, the Wendy O's, a lot of these other people who have been talking XRP for a long time, but XRP does not have a Michael Saylor. And you know what? I know it's going to sound ridiculous, but XRP may need one. They may need a spokesperson, because if XRP goes to $5, everyone's going to be like, wow, what is this? They're going to need an explanation. And I can tell you right now, it's not Brad Garlinghouse. So the power of XRP is that, XRP could go and then need someone to go on TV to explain it. Whereas Mike has been explaining Bitcoin for forever, and people are still ignoring him. Like Michael Saylor has not gone mainstream yet. He hasn't. The Bitcoin narrative hasn't. The XRP narrative hasn't. And people are just going to start to discover Ethereum just because Ethereum is an ETF that hasn't done as well as Bitcoin yet. So there is a recipe here for a serious chain reaction. Like a serious chain reaction. Now, I know crypto people are like, oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, but you know what? People in crypto haven't felt that way over the last 3 days, right? Small caps have been getting hammered. Memes, big memes got overvalued. Small memes didn't do well. A lot of altcoins have been going down for the last 3 days. People are not ready for this. They're not. And of course, that's the definition of bull market. I don't mean that in a negative way, right? Bull markets are always figuring out a way to talk you out of the trade, to push you out of the trade, to have you question the trade, to have you sell, to have you get out. I mean, it's really, we're in like a warp speed version of a bull market, right? It's like, okay, first we'll go down and stay down. Then we'll discourage you. Then we'll have certain parts of the market go up, and then certain parts of the market go down. So if your part of the market goes down, you feel like you're in a bear market where your friend is in a bull market. So it's like, you're upset even though the market is in an uptrend. It's so classic. I may have to write the book. So let's welcome who's here. We have Thomas, Alexandra, Yav, welcome. Riyadh, not for the faint of heart. Horace, hello. Malik, the Garbage Patch Kids are here. Shelly, Miguel, right? SGSG, the original on this stream. Mahet, Dara, Leo, Javier, welcome. Riyadh, Cat Entertainment, David, good morning. You may be figuring out by now that nothing's going to stop this. So, why are we here? Kennedy used to talk about getting, letters from kids who have to skip meals to fill their gas tank. Now, I realize that, we're in the middle of like the Pudgy Penguins, airdrop party. That's great. That's great. Really, Pudgy Penguins is great. I've been all over that, as you know. But there are real reasons why a currency change is necessary. And why they're going to do the currency change. They're going to do it with Bitcoin. They're going to do it with anything they can get their hands on that's liquid at this point. Seriously. And this is why. Because kids can't survive. This is why Fartcoin is worth $800 million. Because everyone's like, oh, well, gee, I need a different form of money. What's out there? Oh, Fartcoin? Oh, let's get some of that. Ski Dog's next. Ski Mask Dog. Right. These things on base. If you can find a meme that's moving, they'll take it up to 50 or 100 million. They will. If kids think it's money. I think that's the key, right? Kids have to believe in it. And the thing that's funny is the stuff that the grown-ups should be believing in, which is Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and XRP, they're just getting going. I mean, Bitcoin at 100 is like, okay. It's worth $2 trillion. That's not Magnificent Seven level. So why are we here? Well, we know why we're here, but it's not fully expressed in price yet. It isn't. XRP surges 14% as Ripple prepares to launch its stablecoin. Ripple's stablecoin as a replacement for Tether is not priced into the market. A Ripple IPO is not priced into the market. Ripple at $5 is not priced into altcoins. We discussed total altcoin market cap moving from 1 trillion to 2 trillion. Does XRP up 6% this morning or 7%? like help people focus that lens in. In other words, you can say things like, oh, the upside target in Bitcoin is 200K, or a total altcoin market cap should increase by $1 trillion. But it doesn't mean anything until people wake up and they're like, oh my God, this thing is up 10% in one day. What's going on? Well, folks, I'm telling you what's going on, right? The market is revaluing this, and hedge funds are armed with $6 billion and can't underperform. It is institutional FOMO in every respect. This includes sovereigns, right? Because the sovereigns equate their popularity with the rising tide. And it's a currency devaluation, which they don't have to tell you is a currency devaluation because you're having so much fun. Or the market's going up and it looks like you're having fun. You're only having fun if you're participating in the right narratives with the right currencies, with the right asset allocation, which again is not easy. So if you haven't made $1 million since the last live stream, don't worry about it. We're going to get you there. Michael Saylor thinks the Orange Man is serious about creating a U.S. strategic reserve. Well, I would take Michael Saylor's word for it because he's undoubtedly been on the phone with the Orange Man about it. Right. When that gets out, then you're going to have total lunacy. Total lunacy. Because Mike, has basically turned himself into a CNBC co-host. So the phone is eventually going to ring here. It is. If they're not talking already. Okay. The Orange Man, of course, this is like left-wing bitterness from Bloomberg. Okay. The Orange Man's unpredictability is being criticized here, especially, which is strange because after, trolling the Prime Minister of Canada, he's done any day now. He did regime change on Twitter. And if anybody thinks that they're not going to have to come and pay homage to the new king, they better think again. Trump is even shocked that everybody wants to be his friend now. Okay, so whatever this guy wants to do that makes people money and makes people happy is going to get done. And if anything, they're going to have to start thinking about how they overdo it. Because strategic Bitcoin reserve is assumed. I would think Treasury QE and crypto would be more appropriate because World Liberty Financial is already signaling that. And I keep saying anybody who thinks this guy is playing around is crazy. And now Michael Saylor is telling you, and people still aren't listening. I don't mean that in a negative way. People are just not listening. They don't get it, right? They're so used to everybody either ignoring people or, positive developments being, leading to disappointment. Nothing is priced in crypto. Nothing. Like some talk about the Bitcoin strategic reserve has created a breakout in Bitcoin, but that is not translated over into the rest of the market. Solana, XRP, all Ethereum, like nothing has happened in those coins yet. Nothing. ETH 4,000, who cares? ETH was at 4,000 in January, right? For second Trump term, America must unite around progress mindset. And this is true, right? The new age idea of abundance, of there's enough for everybody, is pretty much one thing that'll help keep you sane throughout a crypto bull market. Everybody is eventually going to get a turn at having their sector and their coins do well. And you're going to have to see and stay with the theory that this market can continue higher and not buy into this narrative that, Michael Saylor is going to blow up at any time, or we better hurry up and sell this thing before it goes down. Don't buy into that. If you have to pay bills, great. You buy some speculative coin and you get a 50 or 100x and you have spectacular P&L, take the money. Do not get off this trend unless you have to. Do not. I'm talking about the big picture. Do not get off this trend. If anything, literally, the market's giving you an opportunity this morning to get in. Because whatever is up 2, 3, 4, 5%, who cares if the whole market goes fart coin? Like fart coin is useful now, right? Because it's silly I don't even know how many times I can say it on the air, but whatever fart coin can do, everything else can do. If you can have fart coin at 800 million going straight up, then you can have that kind of price action going on in XRP and Avalanche. And if you start expanding total crypto market cap in the hundreds of billions of dollars, that's going to get the attention of CNBC. Right. So if people start embracing the abundance mindset and they start figuring out that they can make money in crypto when they're currently skipping meals, right? In other words, what happens when people go, we're skipping meals to, gee, I can make money in this world? If you have a switch towards optimism and that optimism is focused around crypto, you can have a lot more people coming into the ecosystem. Said differently, this idea of normies coming to crypto is not a sarcastic joke anymore. Like, oh, who's going to buy my bags? No, it's who's going to save themselves from skipping meals. Like normies are going to want to save themselves. The CEO of the CEO of the CEO of crypto.com just met with the Orange Man. These guys got a Wells notice from Gensler. I'm guessing that's going away. Okay. Pudgy Penguins currently valued at $3.2 billion. A little bit weird on the chart. $3.2 billion. That's robust for day one. Okay. Okay. There we go. So Pudgy Penguins, 3-minute chart. Square range, right? It's not going to stop. 3 billion for Pudgy Penguins is probably too cheap. Okay, Bitwise predicted by 2029, Bitcoin will overtake the $18 trillion market for gold. And Bitcoin will trade above $1 million. And, these are now price predictions that dudes in their apartment can make. Whereas if you had this price prediction, I don't know, a month ago, you were a madman. Now, when $1 million becomes the consensus price target, as I have reminded you frequently in Bitcoin, when you start to have these huge price targets, it implies that people can act now. Like, for example, when everyone was saying Bitcoin was going to 100 by the end of the year and Bitcoin was at 70 and everybody was afraid to pay 70, I'm like, people, if Michael Saylor thinks it's going to 100, he's going to pay 70 now. If people think it's going to 200, they're going to pay 106 now. What's 106? What's 106 if it's going to 150 by the end of the year? We discussed this last night. 144 as a number. The Bitcoin ETF trades at what? $60 a share? To normal people, this doesn't look like anything. And frankly, anybody who's ever read a textbook knows that this is a currency devaluation. It is, because it's going to accelerate and it's going to include more than one currencies like XRP. Once XRP gets involved along with Bitcoin, people are going to figure this out. And if Ethereum goes with it, forget it. Because Ethereum could bring in gold and silver. You could have this whole thing accelerate across the board to where, CNBC might not need Michael Saylor to help them figure it out, although currently they do. Because again, everyone's like, well, what's the answer? Gee, Mike, you're running a Ponzi scheme. Gee, Mike, they're not focusing on the right thing, right? It's not over. It doesn't stop until they go, wow, this is a currency devaluation. Okay. If you trade it on Phantom, you can get Pudgy. This is the Uniswap airdrop of this cycle. Like this thing, Kaizen has been on this. This could be the catalyst to blow up the whole ecosystem. Like just because this is like a business, right? The toys, I understand people who bought the toys in the past are eligible for the airdrop. I mean, this is Web3. This is like, it's like American baseball. American baseball has opening day, right? Where all the teams kind of play on the first day in April. Opening day at Yankee Stadium in New York is a big deal. Opening day. This is opening day for Web3. Now, if you don't understand American baseball, you probably don't understand that. That's okay. You don't have to understand that. This is Web3, day one. Everyone's like, oh, wow, look, cute penguin toys and a wallet. Web3, understandable. And then this just results in indiscriminate Coinbase FOMO. It was going to happen. It just had to happen in a way, instead of having a tech executive in an orange tie droning on CNBC, nothing against Mike, you make crypto tangible in a penguin coin that's not a BS meme. People are going to go bonkers because they're going to get it. $272 million worth of XRP shorts face liquidation if XRP hits $3. So who's short XRP at $3? Who's got a short position on up there? I'm guessing Ripple. Guessing somebody has a large XRP holding hedged at that level. It's not a criticism. It's just, a hedge, right? It's like, okay, yeah, we'll be short at this level to, I don't know, to hedge our book. They're all going to get stopped out. It's going to go to 5 because Ethereum market cap has to expand. Ethereum market cap has to expand. XRP market cap has to expand. Solana market cap has to expand. And yes, Bitcoin market cap has to expand because it's not even close to where it is in equities, and they're still buying equities sans NVIDIA. Everybody's moving out of NVIDIA. There are accounting problems there. It's obvious, right? Like, believe it or not, the scam could be in equities, not crypto. The real value is over here. How funny is that? What is going to happen when those people figure that out? If you have an accounting problem at a place like NVIDIA. Michael Saylor, Treasury Operations yield 72% at 170K Bitcoin. That's $14 billion they made this year. Mike publishes this every day. I'm guessing when this gets to $25 billion, like when Michael Saylor can say we made $25 billion this year, if you have something crazy happen, like it goes to 150 or 200 now, because there's no supply. Everyone keeps saying, well, the Bitcoin's being drained out of the system. Yeah, but it's not being reflected in the prices. This is going to get to a point where Uncle Sugar could get phone calls where the private sector and BlackRock is saying, you guys better sell Bitcoin into the market or you're going to wind up having to pay 200 for the strategic reserves. Somebody's holding it back down. Somebody's selling or somebody's hesitant. But when that ends, it could go straight up. It's time to bet on freedom. It's time for our states to invest in the National Strategic Reserve. A lady from Europe. Who isn't going to be in on this? Bitcoin is up 53K since September. The same value increase as the whole parabolic run from the 2021 bull market. What's expensive about fill in the blank? No one wanted it at 53. Everyone thought it was too expensive at 70. Everybody was afraid at Thanksgiving of 98K. It's a currency devaluation. No one cares. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have this itsy bitsy $2 trillion instrument that is trying to be used to revalue the global financial system, the global currency system. Everyone's like, well, we should dump all our gold. No, we shouldn't, because we need Bitcoin and gold to help change the value of fiat. We need both of them, right? Bitcoin is like the accelerant It's accelerating it because it's like, I don't know, it's at least 2 years overdue. At least 2 years. So everyone's like, "Oh, I don't know about this 107K thing. It feels really lofty up here." Well, it's not. It's not. Michael Saylor, three catalysts will take Bitcoin to 5 million. ETF approval, fair value accounting, banks custody, and lend Bitcoin as collateral coming soon. All true. And Mike still is not talking about the Bitcoin yield curve. In other words, if Bitcoin is collateral, then you should be able to issue debt against it. You should be able to issue debt against it. They haven't even gotten to that yet. And when they do, it's going to be insane. All right. So Bloomberg has nothing else to do except to write about Bitcoin, which is kind of funny because, I think Bloomberg is, they're obviously, they used to be the most reputable, neutral financial news source. The Wall Street Journal moved to the right. Bloomberg, run by Michael Bloomberg, moved as far left as it could get. Now they're being forced to write about Bitcoin every day. There is no right. There is no left. There's just orange. There's like Bitcoin is like, there's no right, left, progressive. Remember all this stuff? Remember all this laughable BS? Now it's, are you Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, or Solana? That's like the question, right? Really? What's your price target? We're all going to be forced to get along because of the green button. The orange man is already saying it. It's like, hey, you know what? Let's get along with the Chinese. Like, we may do some tariffs, but let's just get along. Let's just hit the green button. Like, it's laughable. It's like, I don't know. If I had a video editor, I would go back and go out and get all these sayings about how pressing the green button changes everything. Hitting the green button just turned, I don't know, an aggressively left-wing news organization into an organization that has to report the news about Bitcoin, or no one will read their news. A chart of all Bitcoins sitting on exchanges. Willie's having so much fun. These like Bitcoin maximalist guys are having so much fun. They're out of charts. They're out of stuff to write about. It's like they're right, and they're headed for obscurity because it's like, okay, dude, we get it. It's going up. Okay, we get it. Bitcoin is now off exchanges. We get it that it's supply shock. There is no more Bitcoin. We get that. Okay. Bitcoin's token distribution, what do you notice? 57% individuals, 17% lost. Companies, miners, and governments, about 10%. Right? I mean, you got more in the Satoshi wallet than you do in the ETFs. That's going to change. $18 billion Van Eck predicts 180K Bitcoin next year. Okay. Not exactly a high testosterone looking guy. What you realize is when these investment banks all reach some kind of consensus, you then have to go out of consensus. This was a rule. I didn't work in this department. I worked outside of them for a reason, right? Because they were research and I was TA. But these guys in research would sit down and look at everyone else's research and go, okay, it's now mandatory for us to be out of consensus in whatever we cover. There has to be one out of consensus idea per stock, per sector. The out of consensus idea is that this just goes to the 2025 target now, because that's the history of price targets at Wall Street. They all make one and then boom, it goes there. $2 billion worth of Bitcoin short liquidations. Apparently everyone's got their stop at, the next even number. That doesn't matter. Well, whatever, right? This is not like a YouTube, Twitter thing. I hate to tell you this, folks, but at some point, this becomes about foreign exchange. And these numbers aren't going to matter at all. Okay? All right. Let's go to PowerPoint. Just one more word from Mike. 70 public companies now have Bitcoin on their balance sheet. I think there's 5,000 publicly traded companies per the Wilshire 5,000 index. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know everyone's like, wow, this is overdone. Like, that's what the media needs to write about. Like, wow, it's overdone. Michael Saylor's crazy. No, dude. You're crazy if you, not you, but people are crazy if they're not picking up on what the market is telling you, because the market is very clearly telling you part of the problem is that there isn't enough research, right? Professional research on crypto done by Wall Street people to explain what's really going on, except, an obscure Wall Street guy on YouTube. I'm waiting for a call from CoinDesk or somebody to go, Bill, is this a currency devaluation? I'm like, yeah, homie, it is. You want a currency devaluation candle? Let's look at XRP quarterly. So we started doing this last night. We're going to continue to do it today, where we're looking at, longer term or quarterly charts. So XRP's having a good quarter, as you can see. But with the way this DeMark work goes, they could have 2 more quarters like this. So, and of course, as you can see, since 2018, people in XRP, what gratification have they gotten on a quarterly basis? All the way up, all the way down, all the way up, all the way down in the same quarter. Like, XRP has never held a quarterly rally. I didn't even realize this until I pulled up the chart. Like, XRP, you get gratification, but it doesn't last. It doesn't last 3 months. You have gotten zero gratification. If this is not the bigger the base, the higher in the space, I don't know what is. This is the one chart market update. This is the one chart research report. I could publish this chart and be like, yeah, see you in January. I'm done. This is it. You got 3 more quarters of this. You got this quarter, next quarter, and the quarter after that for XRP, because it's done nothing for 5 years. For 5 years. More than that. And now everyone wants to take profits at 3. Everyone wants to get short and hedge at 3. This thing could go to 5. It could go to 10, right? Period. Not because it's wild XRP FOMO crazy, because it's money, and we're in the middle of a change in the fundamental value of money. Period. XRP on a daily chart, Luxalgo, the momentum is up. Then it looks like the momentum is going to shift when you have a quantitative system and it gets fooled, right? Particularly when you have a sell signal and it doesn't work, just like in DeMark, it's powerful. Now, Luxalgo turns around, sees this, and puts the second strongest buy signal. The trend is resuming, and the machine knows it. And so do the humans. Ethereum on a 3-month chart. So last night, we started using Fibonacci circles. Fibonacci is famous mathematician from the 11th century, I believe. He used what is called, or invented, the numbers in nature by doing things like, looking at fruit fly multiplication, the rings around giant trees after they cut it down. And, like the distance between a woman's belly button and the floor is approximately 62% of her height. I remember the teacher at chart school talking about that. There was a 6-foot tall blonde woman in the class from Goldman who turned around and looked at the other 3 people in the class, because nobody studied TA in 1991. And she just looked at all of us and just said, forget about it. I'm not doing it. Don't even think about it, which was funny, but the numbers in nature are real. There are multiple Fibonacci indicators. And when things get wild, I pull out Fibonacci circles, which is, take this point, connect it, take that point, connect it, and see what you get, right? Connect an important low with an important high. There's nobody home in Ethereum until 6K. there's nobody home in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is breaking out above one of these circles. So this candle is the current quarter. If Bitcoin is above 102 by the end of the year, which is laughable at this point, you could get 144. There's nothing stopping it from going to 144. I don't really think there's anything stopping it from going into 170, except 144. Nobody has talked about 144 at the end of the year. Nobody. Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency. It's not a Warren Buffett value stock. This thing can still trade like a cryptocurrency, even if it's big. NVIDIA can move its valuation in $250 billion increments. Are you really going to sit there? Is CNBC going to sit there and tell me that you can't move Bitcoin in $250 billion increments in terms of its market cap? Are you kidding me? Yeah, this can happen. You could be sitting around at New Year's party and go, wow, remember when we thought 106 was expensive? Remember when we were too afraid to pay 98? Who's talking about that on television? Nobody. Me. That's who's talking about that. Seriously. No one's talking about this. Total crypto market cap. Connect this big point from 2017 and the 2021 high and just let these circles draw themselves. Just like Bitcoin, you got a breakout. Total crypto market cap is at 3.6. Where does total crypto market cap stop on a quarterly chart? 5.6. This is also a point about quarterly charts in that long-term charts can start to produce tactical targets. In other words, when you start running out of resistance, you go to long-term charts. When you start running out of long-term, I used to do this at Goldman. I had like a brand. Like I would go to this one specific hedge fund where they were like, oh yeah, here comes the guy with the quarterly charts. Nobody looks at quarterly charts. Nobody. Now, in this particular case, so not only does nobody understand this is a currency, this is like the nobody gets it list. Nobody gets this is a currency devaluation. Nobody gets how fast this thing can move relative to Wall Street price targets, and nobody's looking at quarterly charts. That kind of puts a smile on my face, right? I'm out of consensus 3 different ways. And by the time this whole thing gets in consensus, and then you're sitting at Christmas dinner and New Year's Eve parties, this thing is going to be gone. And they're going to be trying to retrofit an explanation. This whole thing doesn't stop until they have to call a press conference at the Treasury or the Fed, and they have to start asking central banks if this thing's getting out of control. In other words, Powell kind of hopes he can do the rate cut and get the hell out of here for Christmas without having to answer questions about a currency devaluation. He's like, you know what? Let me cut rates, keep my job, and get out of here because this is going to get out of hand. And you know what? Anybody who knows currencies knows it. Ray Dalio knows it, right? He knows it. That's why he flipped on this because he's like, oh, okay. All this negative stuff, all this doom and gloom that I thought was going to transpire from the debt crisis. Yeah, they're going to moon Bitcoin until it scares people. Like, and that's another thing that bull markets do, right? First, they try to scare you out. Then when it really starts happening, people are like, oh my God, it's happening. Like the people who are long and bullish don't believe it. And the people who are not in, like they wind up with sticker shock. 107 is not sticker shock. 150 at the end of the year or 170, that's sticker shock. What are all these investment banking guys going to do? They're sitting home for Christmas. They think they're okay with a 180 price target for next year. And then guess what? Their boss is calling them going, it's at 180. What's the new price target? What are they going to say? How are they going to figure that out? They're not, right? They're going to be caught in cryptocurrency chaos, which of course is the history of cryptocurrencies, which is, not in the DNA of Van Eck, even though they like it. This is going to get insane. You could have $5 trillion total crypto market cap easily. You could have $2 trillion total two, which is total crypto market cap without Bitcoin. So are we saying that Ethereum and Web3 is worth 1.5 trillion when Apple, a dud phone company, is worth 3 trillion? Are you crazy? Web3 is worth 1.5 trillion. Really? That's insane. The market's just going to go, boop. Let's fix that. Let's get Web3 at least to where the Magnificent Seven stocks are. I mean, the market has had misconceptions about the value of Tesla, right? Let's pull up the Tesla chart. Because, I mean, this is not like ancient history, right? I mean, this happened like recently. Yeah. Okay. Here's Tesla, right? There's an electric car price war. What was, does anybody even remember what the story, Kathy Wood got this right. Does anybody even remember what the bearish story with Tesla was? Right? Does anybody remember? Tesla went from 195 in August when everybody was bearish for whatever reason, and now it's at 472. Now, of course, Elon's got a front row seat at the White House, all that kind of stuff. I get it. But this is how fast the market can just, okay. Whoops, we were wrong. Got to fix this. This is happening in real time and no one's paying attention. Total altcoin market cap, so total market cap without Bitcoin and Ethereum has not even broken out yet. It has not broken out yet. So if you get total altcoin market cap above 1.14 trillion, it goes right to 2. That's XRP and Solana alone. Like just let that sink in. Total altcoin market cap has not broken out. It's not above its 2021 high. The 2021 high in Bitcoin was 70. Everybody was afraid to pay 70. Now they're paying 107. I mean, Solana is like, they were selling Solana yesterday. December 17th, they were selling Solana yesterday. Like, oh my God, take this away from me. I'm stopping out. I'm out of my Solana meme coins. Get me out. Sell. Sounds like a tactical low to me. Could be a local low or a major low in Solana. Everyone's going to look at XRP up 7% today and go, well, I missed it. I can't buy it. Okay. Bull markets are not easy. I know I keep saying this. Some people get it. You're watching the show. You get it. I know that. The you is the you outside of you. People don't get this. They just don't. And they're going to. And you know what it could be? You ready? Could be ski mask dog. Or could be something on base when everyone goes, oh my God, this is happening on Coinbase, or this is happening right underneath my nose and I have a Coinbase wallet, or how do I get a Coinbase wallet? People are not talking about that. In other words, like I can be like, well, total altcoin market cap has to go up 1 trillion, but these numbers, they don't register. But Ski Mask Dog at $1 billion, now that would register, right? Gold. Everybody wants to dump gold. I don't think people in Bitcoin are going to want to dump gold if gold and Bitcoin are going up at the same time. Like this is a foreign exchange event. Now, it may take gold following Bitcoin for Wall Street to figure that out. Because, Wall Street has been behind the curve on this for the whole time. BlackRock is recommending a 2% allocation to Bitcoin. Are you kidding? That's what their equities group is telling people. Meanwhile, tactical guys like Jordy Visser are talking about like 20 to 30%. Like the small guy is hip to this. The big guy doesn't get it. I don't know. Gold may have to go to 3,000 before everybody wakes up. Silver could go to 50 or 71. Like Fartcoin is worth almost as much as junior silver miners. We talked about this yesterday. So either Fartcoin has to go down. I don't see that happening. Or if it does, it's because another agent coin, the market is just rotating into the next goofball meme coin. But silver may be too cheap. Now, of course, last night, this was all theoretical until you woke up this morning and XRP was up 7%. Then you're going to wake up tomorrow, and what else is going to be up 7%? Then you could wake up Christmas morning thinking you're going to go to church and open presents and eat dinner, and it's going to be the silent night, and you're going to have a volcanic currency revaluation on Christmas or over Christmas. Now, personally, it would be nice for guys like me if we could have a nice, relaxing holiday. Well, guess what? Bull markets don't wait for anybody. They don't. And if no one's paying attention, the bull markets can sometimes do things to make you pay attention, right? They will wake you up. And you know what? The players who are long this are going to start pushing it. Like, Merry Christmas from Ray Dalio. I'm long Bitcoin. I paid 100. Michael Saylor. Hi. You guys going to listen yet? Michael Saylor could do something dramatic, like come in and start getting levered, or just start ramming his view down everybody's throat. He could start calling out major corporations. He could start ridiculing Microsoft. Microsoft shareholders could have to change their mind at the end of the year. In other words, you got to start in research. You get paid for imagination. So I'm bringing up silver. No one's listening. I understand that. No one's going to listen. But if silver moons, everything in crypto is going to move. Everything. Galaxy Digital. These crypto equities. This guy, Mike Novogratz, he's just quietly bought everything. He's like, you know what? I'm going to let Michael Saylor do all the talking on television, and I'm just going to buy everything and get rich. Like this stock could go to 100. This trades out of Canada. There's an American version. They're going to IPO in the United States. Think about this for a second. The biggest crypto hedge fund years ago had an IPO in Canada. They had an IPO in Canada because they were too afraid of the government. There is there's an American stock market product that mirrors what goes on in Canada, but this doesn't have a U.S. product, a U.S. stock for a U.S.-based company, for a Goldman Sachs guy who lost a bunch of money, a long time ago, and then moved into crypto, and everyone laughed at him. Now his stock is trading at 29. It isn't even above the all-time high. XRP monthly. XRP takes out 290. It goes to 4. 5 is possible. 4 seems like a given, and I've said that. Once you take out this high, everyone's going to be talking about 5 and 10. Justifiably so, because again, you can add market cap to these things in $200 billion increments. Solana. This is the entire history of Solana on a 3-month chart. Looks like the 5-minute chart of Pengu. It's just like a square box that, when Solana's at 3,000 one day, you can be like, hey, remember when we thought 250? Remember when we were all selling it at 250? Like, I'll get this out of here. Oh my God, my Solana meme coins are not working out. Somebody sell. You see what I'm saying? Like, people in crypto don't understand what's going on, which is why I'm doing the ultimate zoom out. People have got themselves talked into like this myopic silliness. This is like something I cut and paste. This is Avalanche. If it takes out 57, it can go to 140, which is only the 2021 high. Like there's nothing, some of these charts, you can't even draw hyperbole upside targets. You can really only draw the 2021 high. Near has not broken out yet, right? I remember back in 2021, we were like, oh, thank God we got near below 10. It went to 20 and just came off. We're going to build Web3, and this is not going to be involved. When Near supposedly solved a lot of the problems that Ethereum had, and this is in like the AI ETNs for Grayscale, another company that's built a whole bunch of products, they got vanquished from the Bitcoin ETF and just moved over into altcoins, just waiting to get discovered by retail. It took retail like years to figure out GBTC. GBTC didn't get figured out. That was their Bitcoin equity market product. People didn't figure out GBTC until 2017. That's when people just started accumulating that. Grayscale's got all these products. No one's paying attention. Cross-chain. Anybody remember cross-chain? This is Rune. Rune is not even anywhere near resistance. It's got to get to $10 before you can discuss it. Has not been traded at all. And then there were like, small caps on privacy side, stuff that I'm looking at. There are people who still have cryptos that they like that are going down or not performing. This doesn't get out of hand until that ends, right? Until everybody's crypto has levitated. That hasn't even started yet. Okay. So let's see who's here. Can we look at ALB? Sure. Oh, Alien Base. Yeah. I was selling Alien Base. This is what I'm talking about, right? All this stuff, like Alien Base on its 4-hour chart, is at the Lux Algo discount zone. So here I am with my quarterly charts talking about to the moon and beyond. I got to share screen. This just makes the point, right? Ski Mask Dog is the same thing, right? They can't stop selling it. There's your square range, 4 hours, all day yesterday. All they did was sell. This is probably Brian Young going, yeah, okay. You guys want to sell? Excellent. This is how major hedge funds make all their money, by the way. Virtual. Everyone's like, oh, should I buy virtual? Yeah, dude. Right at the 38% retracement of the most recent up move. 2.7 billion. It's probably worth 200 billion. Honestly. Right? And then I lost Alien Base, but we'll bring Alien Base back. Oh, I had Alien Base on TradingView. There we go. Yeah, man. Just everyone selling it inside of a box. I don't know anything about technical analysis. Bro, you don't have to. You do have to, but this is not complicated. This is not complicated. This is a fundamental revaluation with JEETs in crypto selling it right before it explodes. Okay. So that's a lot of live streaming in a 24-hour period. That's it for me. Good morning. Welcome to the bull market. Merry Christmas. Watch out on the upside. We'll see you tomorrow.